Hey everyone, Once Bitten here at the Battle Report. So, as promised, I brought out my Beastmen to get some practice games in for Brawler Bash, 3,000 point game. The tournament emphasizes killing stuff, not necessarily whether you win, lose, or draw. So, I've always been hesitant to bring my Beastmen because although they can be pretty good at killing stuff, they have some matchups I just don't. I think they're just really at a disadvantage. But nevertheless, we're going against an Empire list. This is the same, pretty much the same player, pretty much the same list as my last game. It's a battle line, and the scenario focuses around killing characters. So starting on the right, he's got a unit of demigryphs being proxied by skull crushers. There's a cannon in the building, 2 units of what people are calling vanilla knights, just real cheap 5-man units. Behind him, there's 10 archers and a level 2 Lore of Heaven's wizard. Behind those archers is my custom built Jabberslythe model. That's Carl Franz on his Griffin. So there's a cannon, a steam tank, a master engineer, a Hellblaster volley gun, 4 more demis, another unit of 10 archers with another level 2 heavens, and blurry picture here, but just a big unit of knights with the banner of swiftness and 2 characters, Luther Haas and a Captain BSB. Far left. So I have 4 units in this list of Ungor Raiders, and they come with. I gave them a banner so that for these scenarios that require fortitude to seize objectives, I figured these might be a good way to do it. So I deployed 2 and I held 2 in ambush. I also have a unit of 20 Gore full command extra hand weapon that's an ambush. So on the far left, 5 Ungor Raiders, a horde of Gore extra hand weapon full command. I think there's 44. There's some harpies behind them. Then Chariot, 2 Razorgores, Chariot behind him. There's a big Herdstone shard. In front of it is a unit of Harpies, and then a horde of of Bestigore. I don't remember how many I have. I think it's 36, something like that. I have 2 characters in there, my Battle Standard Bearer and my Beast Lord. He has the 1-up rerollable, which gives him extra attacks, Crown of Command, and Biting Blade. I've got 2 level 1s behind the Herdstone. One has a scroll, the other one brought the Herdstone. Then I've got another unit of Gore, this one with 45, and in with them is my level 4 Lore of Shadow. He has a Power Stone and the Stone of Spite. There's another Chariot, another unit of Ungor Raiders. So I win the turn to go first, which I thought was very nice because there's. Oh wait, I'm sorry. We randomly selected cards to play, and the card I had was one where I automatically get first turn, which is nice when you're facing Empire. I'm not terribly afraid of his shooting because most of the things he can kill are units that I consider chaff, and I'm not that worried about them. So anyway, I move up fairly aggressively. Looks like that. So I roll for my Gore unit, and it comes in behind his enemy lines, which I thought was just beautiful, but I wasn't sure where to put it. So I placed it such that I could charge the cannon in the building if I felt that was important, or I could charge anything else that he had there. I mean, I know he can take his level 2 wizard and get out of my way. I mean, heck, he could take Carl Franz and park him right in front of me if he wanted. But anyway, looks like that. And then my 2 Ungor Raiders both rolled such that my opponent got to choose where they deployed, and he said, bring them on behind your lines. So all 3 of my units came on turn 1, but 2 of them came on behind my lines. So this one I put in the far right corner, and another one I put by the Herdstone. So we go to the magic phase. I lower the initiative on the steam tank. I lower the ballistic skill on the Hellblaster volley gun, which raised a very friendly rules question of if they're using the Master Engineer's ballistic skill, does it still get lowered? Like if you lower the leadership through a Lore of Death spell, it doesn't matter if you use your general's leadership, it still gets lowered. And we didn't know and just decided to dice it off. So this is before I cast the spell, and the dice said that it indeed does lower the ballistic skill even if you use the Master Engineer. So I figured that would save some of my Beastmen's lives. I lowered the initiative on the steam tank. Then I cast big version of Pit of Shades because it's going to scatter 2d6, but it's so big that if it just scatters low, I should be able to hit the steam tank and force a test, and it scatters 10 inches right in the middle of nowhere. Really bummed about that. But for my trouble, I put a wound on my level 4 and a wound on each of my level 1s. And this is the problem whenever you take a bunch of level 1s, like a light council or something. When you roll a miscast and then you get an 8 or a 9 and it puts a strength 6 hit on all your spellcasters, it just really, really, well, I can't have two of them. Two of them and all my level 1s are dead. Empire turn 1. Yeah, on the right-hand side, he is not really all that aggressive. He moves up one of his vanilla knight units just to slow down my Bestigors. The Bestigors threaten anything in his army. They will kill anything in his army. My Gore units, unsupported, will hold up things, but they can't get past armor. So this is the right. And this is the middle. Yeah, he's got a lot of chaff in there to slow down my Bestigors. And over here, I was kind of surprised he took the steam tank over here. I'm not sure what his purposes were. But, I mean, he could throw just his unit of knights into these Gore, and as long as I don't get Occams or anything, we'll just stay there the rest of the game. Throw your Demigryphs in there, and he's going to whittle me down very, very quickly, because I won't be steadfast probably at all. So my big fear on this side of the board was getting in combat with the knights and the Demigryphs, because I think they would just break that unit right off the bat. So that's why I have my chaff on the left moving up to try to slow things down. If I charge him in my turn, then I can 6 dice Occams and have a chance. If he charges on his turn, then I'm done. Cannon in the building shoots and kills a chariot. Other shooting doesn't really do a whole lot. And we go to Beastman turn 2. So I thought I was being clever here. I think in hindsight it wasn't really a good move. But instead of charging the knights with my Bestigor unit, I charged my general out of the unit with a chariot and 2 Razor Gores into a steam tank. And my thinking was the Razor Gores are strength 6 on the charge. My general can kill stuff, blah blah blah. The chariot, I've had chaos chariots charge my steam tanks and just do a lot of wounds. And I just need to remember that Beastmen are not like Warriors of Chaos, because we charge in there and just do nothing. My Beast Lord can't do any wounds on him. I'm strength 5 with armor piercing. He still gets a 4-up armor save. My Razor Gores will have 4 attacks. They don't get the rerolls to hit, and my opponent gets a 4-up armor save. So anyway, long story short is I thought we could go in there and not kill it, but get it down to just a couple wounds, and not even close. We did, I think, a wound or 3, something like that. Just very, very ineffective. Ungor Raiders on the left-hand side move up to block his knights. And my Harpies on the left, I'm just kind of holding them in reserve so I can use them to provide chaff duty later. On the right over here, yeah, my Ungor Raiders do the same thing over here. They want to redirect his Demigryphs. What I'm hoping there is, he charges them and then fails to restrain. I guess if he kills them all, he'll probably just kill them all and it'll slow him down. For some reason, though, I was thinking because they were skull crushers, they'd hit him and he'd have to overrun and run towards the table edge. But I forgot I'm playing Empire, not Warriors. Yeah, this is the picture after combat. I want to say he's taken. I'm looking at that red die. I think he's taken 1 wound. Just an epic, epic fail. So I didn't take a picture of this, but basically, my opponent used his 10-man archer unit to chaff my Gore, not my horde, but the unit that came in behind his lines. He took his level 2 out of his archers, put him out of line of sight. So I charged the archers, and I knew I was going to beat him. I needed to roll an 8, and that would have given me a charge into the flank of these knights, and that would have been fantastic, because during his next shooting phase, my guys would be protected, being in combat. I think I could win that through static combat res, and then at the end of his turn, reform, and on my next turn, start charging his war machines. And I rolled a 7. So the grand plan, there wasn't anything else to do anyway. The other option was just to reform, but then I was so far away from his war machines that it wasn't going to help. So there's really no risk to doing what I did. It just didn't work out. Empire turn 2. So on the right, his knights are still blocking my Bestigor. His other unit of knights backs up so that he can't get charged by my unit of Gore. And the Demigryphs charge the flank of a Razor Gore. The knights on the far left charge the chaffing Ungor Raiders. And Karl Franz joins the fray over there, which kind of surprised me. I'm not sure. I think he likes Karl kind of being on the flank. And so this is just clearing away chaff, and then he's on my flank and can start countercharging later. I think that's what he was going for. Yeah, so his Demigryphs charge my Ungor Raiders on the right. If nothing else, on my next turn, if I was going to charge in, I was hoping to have a chariot helping out, but the a cannon takes care of that chariot. And after combat, it looks like this. So, yeah, he easily beats the Ungor Raiders on the left. He reforms his knights. He overruns with Karl Franz, so he can get an auto charge into my, not an auto, but an easy charge in my Harpies. Demigryphs kill the Razorgore, which takes him out of combat. So instead of overrunning and staying in the combat, he just reforms. Because had he done that, I would have countercharged in the flank with my Gore unit. And you can see my chariots down to 1 wound remaining. I still have Razorgore, and there's my general, and that steam tank is still very, very healthy. On the far right, yeah, the Ungor Raiders die, and his Demigryphs just reform. So, yeah, this is just Karl Franz and the Harpies. And we go to Beastmen turn 3. So my Bestigor finally have had enough of things, and they're charging a unit of knights. I'm easily going to win that. I go ahead and throw my leftmost Gore unit at his Demigryphs because there was no benefit in holding back. He's about to have, Demis, Knights, and Karl Franz to pick on him, and that isn't going to do me any good. So my thinking is throw him in there and then just go for Occams. And not if I get Occams, not only do I kill the Demigryphs, but I probably scare off any counter charges. As a matter of fact, I would welcome counter charges if I have Occams off because these Gore units, 2 attacks each, usually rerolling to hit at strength 10. Yeah, they are something to be feared, no doubt about it. Yeah, they haven't fought that yet. I'm easily going to win that one. And there's that. Close-up pictures all the way around. Yep, we go to the magic phase, and I get Occams. The 6 dice strategy, but I get another miscast, and I get another 8 or 9. So I roll a 1 to wound my level 4, so he doesn't take a second wound. I roll a 1 to wound one of my level 1s. I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm actually saving one. The other one, of course, takes a wound and dies, which panics one, and they both go off the table. Which might bring you to ask, why do I have them so close together? But I was hiding both of them from his sniper cannons. And even with that, he could kind of see one through a gap in that rock. So that's why they were so close together, because if I moved them far apart, they would just get sniped. Snipered. Guilt. After combat, the Vanilla Knights are dead. I reform the Bestigor to be able to charge things, to give myself options. And yeah, over here, these guys just kill the Demigryphs to a man. Just absolutely crushed them. And then I reform to my left. So it looks like I'm facing the chariot. I'm not. I put my command group on the left, so I'm in kind of a bus formation, 6 wide. I was trying to just get in front of the knights so the knights couldn't move around me. So I'm basically saying you can stay still, you can back up, you can reform and move, but any of those things I'm going to charge on my turn. So I'm thinking there's no way he's going to charge on his turn. I think it'd be foolish if he did, because Occams will just eat him. And Karl Franz, of course, does his thing. I'm not worried about Karl Franz. Bring it. Bring it. So Empire turn 3. A few things happening. One, if you look at the very top, I had reformed and moved my Gore so that they could have some choices of what to charge among his war machines. And I just played it wrong because I made it to where all he had to do was move his cannon a little bit, and he's now out of sight with everything. Felt kind of dumb. Yeah, he has his other unit of small unit knights charge the flank of my general. I think one of them died to dangerous terrain or something. I'm not really worried about that. They're not going to kill him. He's got Crown of Command. He'll be just fine. Matter of fact, that allows my Bestigor to charge them, be in a position to overrun or charge next turn into the steam tank, and the Bestigor will clean that thing up quickly. And over here, he decides not to charge, which I think is smart. So he positions it such that all I can really do is sit still or charge Karl. And if I charge Karl and don't break him, he can countercharge with his knights. So I felt that was a pretty good, very patient move there. There's this. And yeah, the Demigryphs on the far right charge the unit of Gore, and of course he positions it such that one of them can allocate all of his attacks at my level 4, so I don't have a chance to get Occams off ever again. He only needs to do 2 wounds to me. The only protection this guy has is toughness 5, and that's rough. He's got a lot of relatively high strength attacks. My odds are he kills him, and if he doesn't, he should at least do 1 wound a turn and kill him soon enough. During shooting, the Hellblaster Volley Gun opens up on my unit of Harpies. See, I was here with a unit of Gore and a unit of Harpies. Yeah, I kind of screwed that up. And over here, he doesn't do any wounds to my level 4. I do 3 wounds to him, which is absolutely... I never get past a 1-up armor save. But the thing is, I have got so many attacks. I mean, when he was full wide, I had all my attacks. Oh, and I rolled Frenzy on the Primal Fury, so I had 3 attacks each on the front rank. And then 20 more attacks. I had 51 attacks, something give or take. I had about 51 attacks, re-rolling to hit. But then, I'm wounding on 5s and he's saving on 2s. That's the hard thing. But with 50 attacks, at least I got 3 wounds. So there was that. He didn't do too many wounds to me. I think I actually won combat here. Crazy lucky that he didn't kill my level 4. I'm probably going to lose him next round of combat, but at least I'll have another magic phase. Over here, let's see. He kills... The engineer does a wound to the... does the second wound to the Razor Gore, and then they do the breath weapon and does the last wound to the Razor Gore. And I take that back. I think the engineer might have done 2 wounds to him. Either way, Razor Gore dies. I lose combat, but I'm stubborn and I stick. And we go to Beastmen turn 4. It looks like that. So the Bestigor charged the flank of that knight unit. The Gore unit at the top did not charge the cannon. They just moved so that now I know I can charge if I'm still alive on my next turn. And over here, yeah, let's charge Karl Franz, see what we can do. Without Occams, we can't do anything, but I've got a magic phase. So after all these rounds of combat, I've only done 4 wounds to the steam tank. The Beast Lord is not a steam tank killer. Note to self. But Bestigors can kill knights. That I do know. And over here, it's a big pillow fight. He doesn't kill my level 4. After combat, yeah, I didn't overrun because my general was in the way, so I reform my generals to scoot him down so that then I can countercharge next time it's my turn. And I got Occams off, and I opened up a can and killed Deathclaw and killed Karl, just smashed him. I'm telling you, Gore with Occams, they are no joke. So Karl Franz goes down. Empire turn 4, it looks like that. Steam tank misfires, and it gets down to where I think something happened. I don't know. I want to say he's down to like 1 wound left, or I don't know. I think that's 1 steam point. I take that back. He has several wounds left. He has 1 steam point left after this. But he grinds at my general and does 2 wounds. So I've got basically a 4 rerollable armor save at this point. So I'm kind of... He's been picking on all the small units near my general. I think my general could have been dead a long time ago, to be honest with you. Anyway, looks like that. Hellblaster opens up on my Gore unit and blows them, just tears them apart, and they decide they want none of that. They run away. This whole game, they came in behind his lines, and they're never going to charge his war machines. He shoots at him with his archers, trying to get him down to 25%, and I think I'm 1 above 25%. After combat, it looks like that. The steam tank's just still alive. And we go to Beastman turn 5. The Bestigor charges steam tank. They're going to kill it, no doubt about it. I do rally my Gore unit. My Ungor Raiders, it's my last remaining of the 4 units. This one started off back at the Herdstone. They've been moving up. So they're up here trying to shoot his level 2s because of the scenario, we're trying to kill as many characters as possible. And yeah, the Gore charged his knights. And why not? My level 4 is still alive because his demigriffs can't kill him. I get Occams off again. I need the big version. I'm so far away. And they don't kill all the knights, kind of surprised me, but they killed a bunch, broke them, and did not run them down. And the Bestigor didn't kill the steam tank. I was really surprised about that. They got him down. He's got maybe a wound left or something, but they weren't able to kill him. And over here, he finally does another wound to my general, or not my general, my level 4, but I'm still alive. He's going to kill him eventually. And the shame is sometimes he's winning combat, and sometimes he's just fluffing his attacks, and I'm winning combat, but he just won't break. And I want to say this time, or possibly the last time, I won combat, and he needed something like a 4 or a 5. He just fluffed his attacks. He just did nothing, and I had all that static combat res, whatever it was, and he passed it. It just... Yeah, I mean, he had to be frustrated not doing better, certainly not being able to kill my level 4, but when I did win combat, I was frustrated that I couldn't couldn't seal the deal. Empire turn 5, he rallies his knights, protects his level 2 with his archers because my Ungors shot at him and hit him twice. They just couldn't wound him. Everything looks like that. He's coming up here. He's buffing his guys. He's lowering my leadership by 1, which is really helping him. It's caused me to either fail my fear test, fail my primal, or fail my primal fury test, and I think I'm like -1 to hit, so that is not helping the Beastmen cause. Yeah, he finally grinds for the second time. My general kills him. I mean, he should have been doing this the whole game, I thought. Yeah, so general dies. And he opens up the Hellblaster on my poor, depleted Gore unit and just, yeah, pick them up off the table. Shoots a lot at these guys, but he either doesn't quite cause a panic test or he causes a panic and I pass it. And I lose my level 4. I lose combat. I'm steadfast, but I'm on leadership 6 because their leadership is only 7. I was down 1 leadership. And they break, but he doesn't catch me. And yeah, these guys kill the steam tank. I reform into bus formation. It looks like I'm facing right. I'm not. Look at the command group. I'm 5 wide facing towards his Hellblaster. And I just didn't move all the models because the game's almost over and I didn't feel like dealing with it. Beastman turn 6. I rally. Ha! And over here, the Gore charges Knights, hoping just to beat them through static combat res. My Bestigor charge his Hellblaster. I think they should win, which they do. And panics everything. His archers, his level 2, his master engineer, and his cannon all panic. The cannon, of course, just turns around. Everybody else runs. I was hoping to overrun into the master engineer, but after he panicked and ran away, I couldn't reach him. Oh, and by the way, notice my Gore beat his knights. They ran off the table. We go to Empire turn 6. His archers didn't rally, but they're still on the table, so I would get half points for him. His level 2 rallies. His master engineer, I don't think rallies. I don't see him. And he charges with his demigryphs into my Gore horde over there. He casts some kind of magic spell at these guys, just trying to get as many points as he can. He only kills 1, so it doesn't even cause a panic. And he takes his cannon and snipes 1, and they fail their panic and run away. So he gets half points for those. And yeah, he does a bunch of wounds, but I stick. It's just amazing. And that's the end of the game. What a bloody game. I had a lot of fun. It must have been frustrating my opponent. I got Occam's Mindrazor off 3 turns in a row. And so turn 1, eat the demigryphs. Turn 2, eat Karl Franz a Deathclaw. Turn 3, eat his knight unit. I mean, just brutal. If this were the tournament game, this would have been a very high-scoring game for me because my opponent has very few things left. Unit of demis. I guess he has 2 cannons and 2 level 2s. It would have been a decent game for him as well. I have all my hordes on the table still, but he's killed almost all my chaff and 4 out of 5 characters. So I think it would have been a decent score for him and a pretty good score for me. So that was it. I felt that the Beastmen did well this game. They just have so many bodies on the table. I dominated the magic phase with that Herdstone especially. So as long as we get into combat, I think that it was okay. But my game after this, I'm playing a Warriors list with the whole Chimera Demon Prince, and that's the list I'm worried about because I don't think I have enough counters and enough mobility to handle it with this list. But we'll have to see how that one goes. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has several functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like the video, you can leave a comment, you can favorite the video. I want you to know that I appreciate it when you do things like that. It feels much more interactive than simply me talking to a screen. So if you're willing to do so, please like, comment, and favorite the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and you certainly are welcome to share this video on your blog or other websites if you are so inclined. Again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.